I love many things about Pinterest ads, but this one that we're going to talk about today really stands out. Pinterest audiences. Today, we're going to talk all about Pinterest audiences, targeting, and how to find your high converting audience for your Pinterest ads. Hey there, I'm Erica, Pinterest marketing strategist, helping business owners make Pinterest marketing easy to understand with simple strategies that get results. And if you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button down below. We drop videos just like this every single Monday, and trust me, you do not want to miss out on the Pinterest party. As I mentioned, we are talking all about audiences today and how to find your high converting audience for your Pinterest ads. And you are going to want to stay until the very end where I talk about the one tool that you must be using that is available for you for free on Pinterest in order to nail your targeting with your ad campaigns. Okay, audience types. So many times the clients that come to me inside my Pinterest marketing agency have already been advertising on Facebook or Instagram. And while there are many similarities to your targeting options, there are also many differences. For instance, on Pinterest, you cannot target things like profiles, pages, household income. But you can get very specific with Pinterest interests, which we're going to talk in detail about a little later in the video. So on the flip side, similar to Facebook and Instagram, we can create custom audiences. And the custom audiences that we can create are things like email lists, website visitors, engagements, or act-alikes. So let's break those down just a bit more. So let's talk about an email list audience. Now this type of audience is one of the first audiences that I create for my clients because you can create multiple audiences from the email list audience. So for instance, if you upload to Pinterest a list of buyers, people who have already bought your product, then you can create an act-alike from those buyers. So people who act similarly to the people who are already buying your product. The idea here is that yes, it is a cold audience, but it's a cold audience that acts similarly to those who are already interested in what you have to offer or are already buying what you have to sell. So an act-alike audience of buyers is a really great top of funnel audience to use in your targeting since we know they already act alike to your buyers. The next custom audience that you can create is a site visitor audience or an audience of people who have visited your website from Pinterest. Now, this is, yes, of course, a warmer audience, people who have already shown interest in your pins or your products and visited your website. And what I love about a site visitor audience is how granular you can actually get here. You can create a site visitor audience based on people who have visited a certain page on your website or even who have performed a certain event like add to cart or checkout. Next up is the engagement audience. So this is an audience of people who have performed any engagement action on your content. So think click, like, save, or comment. This is also a warmer audience that you can create for your Pinterest ad campaigns. And when you're creating an engagement-based audience, you can create it with optimized engagement actions, which is more high intent actions. Lastly, we've already talked a little bit about act-alike audiences, but with the custom audiences that I've already mentioned, the customer list, the website visitors, and engagement audiences, you can create an act-alike based on any of those custom audiences. For example, if you have a customer list of people who have added your product to their cart, you can create an add to cart act-alike audience. The same applies to purchases or signups. There are so many ways to get creative with your act-alikes. Okay, that is the tea on custom-based audiences. Let's talk a little bit now about interest-based audiences. Pinterest has 24 interest categories and a plethora of subcategories under those main 24 interests. When someone pins or saves something on Pinterest or types a search into the search bar, Pinterest categorizes that search or that pin within the 24 main interest categories. And then as people are clicking and engaging and saving, the Pinterest algorithm is pulling the data on what interests that person is most engaging with. That allows us then to target people based on their interests. And for us as advertisers, the interests that would most align or may most align with the product or service that we are trying to promote. Now, with an interest-based audience, I recommend using keywords as well. Pinterest suggests a minimum of 25 keywords. If you haven't done keyword research for your product or service, I recommend checking out this video up here. In most cases, if I'm creating a campaign to a cold audience, the interest in keyword-based targeting works the best. And this is because Pinterest has all of that data and they are letting us have access to it, which brings me to the secret tool I mentioned at the beginning of this video. If you are planning to advertise on Pinterest, you must be using the Audience Insights tool. This is a free tool that Pinterest gives us access to and is quite literally just handing over the targeting options that we should be using for our campaign. It tells us out of our entire audience what interest categories that audience interacts with or falls within. It also tells us the gender, age, location, and even what device they're using to access and engage with your content. Now, because I love this tool so much, I want to give you a little sneak peek of exactly how it works. Hey everyone, okay, let's dive into this amazing Audience Insights tool that we are talking about and how we can use this data inside of our Pinterest ad campaigns. So to access, you're going to go to Analytics and then Audience Insights, and it is going to bring you to this screen. Now, if we scroll down, we can see some of the information it's giving us here. The date range for the last 30 days, audience size around 10,000 people, and we can scroll on down and we can see the categories and interests. Now, these over here on the left are the main categories or the other main top level interests. And if we click on this little button right here, it will sort them by your top percentage to the least. And then if we click on one, say we click on art, on the right-hand side, you will see the subcategories or sub-interest for the main art category. Now, for my own personal content, this is my profile. If I were to just look at this and say art, I'm a Pinterest educator. Why is my audience falling within the art category? Well, I click on art and I see photography is the main top subcategory. Now that makes sense to me because I know a lot of photographers use Pinterest for their business and they may be searching out how to use Pinterest for their business and they may land on my content in some way. Now, if we click on education, the same applies. Now, what I do, Pinterest marketing, education, and teaching, there's no main interest or category for marketing or digital marketing, obviously not Pinterest marketing, but all of that kind of content, what I do falls within the education. So you may see subjects or career. Those would all be interests that I would use for targeting inside of my Pinterest ad campaigns. So if we keep scrolling down, we can see that my audience is broken up in here by age. So you've got 18 to 24, 25 to 34, 35 to 44. And then these audience groups are all less than 5%. Now, if I were to create an interest insights or audience insights based audience, and I were using this targeting or all of the information that I'm finding here inside of an ad campaign, I would, if I get down to age, I would probably not include anything less than 5% over here, just for example. Then we go over to the right and we have gender. Now, the large majority of my audience falls within the female category, but I have about 10% male and 9% unspecified and custom. When we continue scrolling, we can see my audience breakdown for location and then also device usage. So we have iPhone, iPad, Android mobile, Android tablet, mobile web, and web. Now, I use these a lot within my own personal campaigns and also my client campaigns. And I typically will like to start with a large net, cast a wide net, and then narrow down from there. So initially, I wouldn't, if I was using this for targeting, I wouldn't exclude any of these initially, but I would remove them in my optimization of my campaign based on their overall performance week after week. So I hope that makes sense. I hope this gives you a bit more insight into the Audience Insights tool and how you can use it to better refine your audience or your interest-based targeting for cold audience inside of a Pinterest ad campaign. Okay, that's it. All about how to find your high converting audience for Pinterest ads. And I know I covered a lot in today's video. So if you're like, Erica, please just tell me exactly where to start. then I would do this. 1, create a customer list with your email list. And 2, review audience insights inside Pinterest and create your campaign with an interest-based and keyword-based audience. If you're keen to learn more about Pinterest ads from start to finish, then check out this video over here, Getting Started with Pinterest Ads. Until next time, happy pinning.